Desert People, written by David Meisner. What is a desert? Would you know a desert if you saw one? Would it have camels or rattlesnakes? Would it have sand or rocks? Earth has many different kinds of deserts, but all deserts are dry. They usually get less than 25.4 centimeters, 10 inches of rain a year. Some deserts are very cold, but most are sunny and hot. Desert living. How do people stay alive in such hot, dry places? Where do they find food and water? How do they build their homes? For thousands of years, desert people have used what they found in their local areas to get food, water, and shelter. Each desert is different, and each desert has its own solutions. In this book, you will learn about two desert peoples, the Tohono O'odham and the Bedouin. Both of these groups have found ways to adapt and live successfully in their desert homelands. The Tohono O'odham. Tohono O'odham means desert people. The Tohono O'odham are Native Americans who still live in the Sonoran Desert. Long ago, the O'odham slept in round homes made of dried mud, branches, and grass. There was one main room with a fire pit. Families slept on grass mats. Fires gave them light and heat during cold winter nights. Word-wise. Desert. A dry, barren area of land, especially one covered with sand, that is, desolate, waterless, and without vegetation. This is the official New Oxford American Dictionary definition of desert. The Sonoran Market. The Sonoran Desert can be a difficult place to live. Months may pass without rain. Summer days can reach 49 degrees Celsius, 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Winter nights can be freezing cold. But for a desert, the Sonoran is full of life. Historically, the Tohono O'odham lived where 30.5 centimeters, 12 inches of rain fell each year. The rainfall supported many plants and animals. Shady trees, cacti, and flowers all grew there. Many insects, birds, rabbits, and other animals lived there too. A different kind of shopping. The desert was the Tohono O'odham market. When they needed vegetables, they planted seeds. When they needed water, they went to a spring. When they needed meat, they hunted. Fruits and vegetables. In the early summer, O'odham people planted seeds. In the late summer, the rains flooded the fields. The O'odham grew corn, beans, and other vegetables. In the winter, they grew wheat, peas, and fruits. Meat. The Tohono O'odham hunted rattlesnakes, rabbits, and birds in the desert. In the mountains, they killed deer, mountain sheep, and sometimes even bears. Desert foods. The Tohono O'odham also gathered wild desert foods like chili peppers, onions, beans, and cactus fruits. In the mountains, they found acorns, roots, and pine nuts. O'odham men even made 4-day trips to the ocean to get salt. The O'odham traded salt and cactus syrup with other native peoples for corn, beans, and wheat. This food helped the O'odham during long periods without rain. Drinking water. Some O'odham villages were near springs and streams. Other villages dug wells in the ground. But many people lived far away from water. Young girls hiked into mountain canyons to get water. The Bedouin. Can you imagine moving to a new place every week? Another desert people, known as the Bedouin, moved from place to place on camels in search of food and water. Because they moved so often, the Bedouin owned very few items. Bedouin means people of the desert. The Bedouin lived in tents. In a few hours, they could pack up and move. Today, many Bedouins still travel the Syrian, Arabian, and Sahara deserts. The Sahara Desert is the largest desert in the world, 9 million square kilometers, 3.5 million square miles. In some parts, it rains less than 25 millimeters, 1 inch per year. Less rain falls in the Sahara than in the Sonoran Desert. Fewer plants and animals live there. The Bedouin had to travel far in search of food and water. The Sahara is more than sand. It also includes mountains, valleys, and oases. An oasis is a place in a desert where water creates a rich green area. Camping with camels. Arabian camels gave the Bedouin shelter, clothing, food, and rides. The Bedouin wove camel hair into tents and clothing. They also drank camel milk and ate camel meat. They even burned camel dung for campfires. Camels can go a long time without water. Arabian camels can walk 50 kilometers, 30 miles in a day. They can carry up to 270 kilograms, 600 pounds on their backs. Fruits and vegetables. The Bedouin did not grow many crops. But in late summer, they camped out near oases with date palms. Bedouins ate some dates fresh and dried others to save for later. Meat. The Bedouin hunted desert animals for food. Sometimes trained dogs rode with the Bedouin to track animals. Can you imagine a dog riding a camel? Drinking water. The Bedouin knew where to find oases. They dug wells to pull water from the ground. They carried the water in bags made of camel skin. More desert people. The Tohono O'odham and the Bedouin are just two of the world's desert peoples. There have been many more. Australian Aborigines hunted with spears and throwing sticks. Women gathered food. The Aborigines wore very little clothing. They slept by the warm campfire. Nomads traveled the cold and windy Gobi Desert. They raised sheep, goats, and cattle. They lived in round tents. Atacama Indians in South America lived in the dry Atacama Desert. They raised guinea pigs and llamas. They also planted crops. Bushmen lived in the Kalahari Desert. Women gathered plants and roots. Men hunted with bows and arrows. For thousands of years, people have found food, water, shelter, and more in the desert. Desert people have learned how to live in these beautiful and challenging lands. Try this. Do you think you could grow food like the Tohono O'odham? You probably could. Ask a teacher, parent, or friend to help you. But be careful. You might plant a seed in their head, too. Grow your own food. 1. Find out what kinds of fruits, vegetables, and herbs grow in your area. 2. Decide what you want to grow and buy the seeds. 3. Choose a sunny spot with soft soil. You can also fill a pot with soil. 4. Get help from someone who knows how to grow plants, or read the instructions on the seed packet. 5. Dig a shallow hole. 6. Place a seed in the hole and wait for the seed to grow.